I'm back! What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Konky TV. Thank you so much for being patient with me in the last month and a half or so. Right now is not the time for me to make excuses as to why I was away. Let's just boil it down to, I'm still here. Anyway, as most of you are aware, E3 was last week, the biggest gaming event of the year in terms of announcements of hardware, software, and everything to do with corporate greed. So I figured, for starters, I might give you guys my wrap-up of what I thought of the show. And I think we'll go in chronological order of conferences, so let's start with EA. First thing that I can point out from the EA show is that Anthem has a release date finally, February 22nd, 2019. The downside to that is there will be no PvP at launch. For those unfamiliar with Anthem, it's a dystopian, futuristic kind of shtick. Some are calling it the Destiny killer. I think we'll see about that, I guess. I'm not entirely convinced, although Destiny has been on a downward spiral for quite some time now. But we'll get back to Destiny shortly. Secondly, Battlefield 5. More on that, and guess what? Battlefield 5 is getting... I'm sorry. Let me try that again. Battlefield 5 is getting a Battle Royale... Battlefield 5's getting a Battle Royale mode. Big f***ing whoop. Next. And the last thing from EA would be that Respawn, the guys that make Titanfall, are working on a, I believe, single-player Star Wars experience called, what was it? Jedi Fallen Order. They were pretty vague on the exact nature of the game, but I suppose we'll see when it comes around. New Star Wars stuff's always fun, as long as it's not Battlefront 2. Oh! Moving on to Microsoft, who announced Gears of War 5 and Halo Infinite. A new Gears of War game and a new Halo game. I mean, they were good franchises 10 years ago. Point is, I think Microsoft needs some new IP because I'm not particularly G'd up about either of them, especially considering the really cryptic nature of what the f*** Halo Infinite is. I mean, all the trailer gave us was rhinos, assorted animals, and Big Chiefy putting his helmet on and sticking Cortana into the back of his head, maybe. It's not Halo 6, that's all we know. One thing from the Microsoft conference that did excite me was that Kingdom Hearts 3 finally has a release date. After many long years of waiting and spin-offs that we didn't care about and spin-offs that were cool, we are finally completing Sora's story arc on January 29th, 2019. We got some new Crackdown 3 footage featuring good old Terry Crews, but we still don't have a proper release date outside of the vague window of February 2019. I'll believe it when I see it. Looks like you're the new Kingdom Hearts Crackdown 3. There was Devil May Cry 5. Never really got into the Devil May Cry franchise, but I see the appeal and I understand the hype. Dante and Nero, I think, are back. New from Software, from old mate Miyazaki, is Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, which looks insane. I'm talking Souls with grappling hooks and Assassin's Creed and gap closing with grappling hooks and samurais and shit. Looks mad, and anything Miyazaki fucks with, I'll fuck with. Keen for that. Nier Automata is finally coming to Xbox One in some sort of Game of the Year edition. Very happy that Xbox One fans will be able to experience this amazing game. Every weeaboo's dream is coming true in the form of Jump Force, which will feature a whole host of Madman franchises including Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, One Piece, and even features cameos from Death Note characters which won't actually be playable in the game apparently, but what can you do? The action brawler is scheduled to come out at some point in 2019. And we finally got our first look at CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk 2077. For those of you who aren't familiar with who CD Projekt Red are, ever heard of a little franchise called The Witcher? Yeah, they make good games. Moving on to Bethesda, we got more of Rage 2. We also got a first look at Doom Eternal, which looks amazing. I'm always keen to see more Doom, and we got that in the first look at Doom Eternal, which will be coming out at some point. We also learned ever so slightly a little bit more about Fallout 76, which apparently will be online only. I'm getting a bit of a DayZ Rust kind of vibe from it, which I'm cool with, because I never really got into the Fallout series as a single-player game, but I can see it working well as a shared world. And we also got Skyrim Remastered Ultimate Edition VR 4D. Nah, just kidding. They finally announced Elder Scrolls 6 though. Square Enix showed off some more Kingdom Hearts 3 and showed us a couple of new IPs made by Platinum Games, and I don't really care. Moving on. Ubisoft showed us a little bit more Division 2, which will apparently feature some free DLC and 8-player raids. Damn it, Bungie! And of course, we got another look at Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is more Assassin's Creed. Looks cool though. I guess. Sony, during their weird disjointed conference, did start off by showing us a little bit of Last of Us 2, which, from my personal observation, didn't divert too much from the Last of Us 1 gameplay formula, but Naughty Dog, you haven't let me down before, prove me wrong. I'd love to see this game come out and wow me, but give us a release date, because we still haven't gotten one of those. Now, this next bit isn't too big of a sticking point for the gaming community at large, but it was for me. There was a Destiny 2 Forsaken trailer which showed Prince Aldrin kill Cayde 6. What the f***? I will be playing that and giving Budgie my money because I love hating myself. We also got a good look at Ghost of Tsushima, which looks like a samurai movie and seems to play like an Assassin's Creed game, which is a bit of a double-edged sword. I'm not too sure how to feel about it, but it should hopefully be good. I want it to be good, but if not, hey, Sekiro's another samurai game that's probably going to be good. After long last, we finally got our first look at the Resident Evil 2 remake, which I'm pretty excited for, given that I never got to play Resident Evil 2 as a kid, because I wasn't allowed to play gory, violent video games. And since tank controls and fixed camera angles didn't age well for me particularly, I'll be really happy to see this classic Resident Evil game from a fresh new perspective. So looking forward to that. That one comes out at the end of January 2019. We still don't know what the hell Death Stranding is, but Kojima's got me even more hyped for the game than before, so I suppose that's still a thing. Thanks, Kojima. There is a game coming out from the creators of Rick and Morty called, I think it's Trover Saves the Universe or the World or something like that. Trover something something. It looks pretty cool, could be a fun one. Spider-Man looks good, as expected. And also during the weird post-show, but not post-show, but the bloggers were still there talking like the show was still on, they did quickly reveal a weird From Software PlayStation VR title, which looks a little quirky and out of the ordinary from what FromSoft have done over the past decade or so, so yeah, I'll be looking at that too. Finally, last but not least, Nintendo did have some cool stuff to show off. They had Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee. They had a new Mario Party to look at, but above all else, they just would not shut the f*** up about Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'm sorry, I didn't grow up on Nintendo, that was really cynical of me. I do understand why everyone's looking forward to it. It will be featuring every single Smash Bros. Hero that's ever been on a Smash Bros. Game roster, so that should be huge. That should really be huge for Nintendo fans. So, all in all, I don't really think any one developer or publisher won E3 or stole the show, because honestly, outside of PlayStation's Big Four and Nintendo stuff, there weren't a whole heap of exclusives that stole the show for any one developer. But honestly, I think that's a win for all of us gamers, because there were so many amazing third-party titles announced at this year's show, which is just fantastic. No matter where you game, you will have cool stuff to look forward to over the coming year, 2 years, whenever the hell Crackdown 3 comes out, whenever the hell Final Fantasy VII Remake comes out, by the way, which we didn't hear a friggin' thing about. In any case, that's my E3 roundup. Thank you guys for being patient again and sticking around to the end of this video if you made it so far. I'll hopefully be posting content more regularly again now, and you can probably expect a new video as early as I hope next week. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.